trend analysis to the pictures. And I think looking at the trend analysis on smaller time frames can speed up the process of learning market dynamics. So market dynamics are when price pushes to a low that it's never been before. But the previous data has been giving you trend ideologies. You won't feel, how do you say, scared, fear, or emotional when you're seeing it push down into these levels because you know that's part of a healthy trend, right? So if I were to compare it to something in real life, when you start a new journey, you need to accept failure. So when you understand that you're doing something, but you know that you don't know how to do it right, it's okay to do it wrong until someone corrects you. And when that correction happens, that is going to propel you higher than you ever been in that particular skill. Same thing for a trend. When it goes outside of the trend and it gets that correction on a smaller time frame, then that correction can lead us to a newer high that it's never been to before, because that is what a trend is supposed to do. So if you're down trending with bad habits, expect demise. If you're up trending with good habits, then expect success. And if that ideology is what we can subscribe to, then that is what we're experiencing on smaller time frames, right? So the reason the parallel channels are used in this manner allow us to understand that philosophy and make it applicable to your everyday trading instead of guessing that it's going to fit a picture that you've seen before, right? So on a higher time frame, sure, the characteristics look genuine for a retracement. But along that retracement, you could have entered at this bottom here and then got liquidated. Then you try to enter at this bottom and then got liquidated. But if you had the data from the smaller time frame to see the trend that was given, you wouldn't have to guess if this is actually going to go up or not, because there should be something here that could tell you that with a break and a retest, things like that. So these parallel channels I've switched to again repeat the market dynamics so you guys can see how it's done to someone who trades for a living rather than guessing what a lower high and a lower low looks like in a downtrend and uptrend, if that makes sense. Outside of the trend, like we spoke of, some order blocks here, and this is where we want to see a close of a candle, a liquidation, and then a U-turn back up to see if this is actually going to keep the uptrend ideology on a smaller time frame and then push us to the higher highs of the retracement. So again, market dynamics, right? Most people will get scared down in this area, but we know that this is required, right? It would be a requirement if this is going to fix the trend. All right, so we touched the smaller time frame order blocks. There's still one more order block down here. That's the last line of defense. If we end up closing that out, then they could try to push another low. And then if the New York entry realizes that the low is there, then they'll try to wake it right back up again. We'll see how it treats it. So you can see the break and retest of the smaller time frame trend as well right here. But now we're getting a clearer low. So we just need them to hurry up and make the low, and then we can adjust our trend and fix it if we're still going to be uptrending. So you'll see it'll look like this. And then depending on where that low is going to be, we'll be able to adjust. So like I said, if you want safer entries, just wait for it to be done. Don't anticipate it, right? I'm up. Don't let these red numbers fool you back. Yeah, we took a really nice trade earlier, bro. The London entry here, straight up to the highest order block. Got right above the order block, shaved some, tried to scare us, use this order block, went up again, shaved some, and then it started to drop down. So I just initially got out, and then I saw it go up, and I was like, damn, guess I'm about to miss this retracement. And then it shot down again. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. I guess we should be vibing. All right, so really pretty trend correction here. So I like this. I can't give you the warm and fuzzy yet until the VIX goes below this level. Oh shit. It just kind of pushed right. So if we get this leap under, then probably be a really good trade. If we stay in this range, it's just going to keep playing with us. Again, treat it with a scalping mentality because every pop is going to come with a drop, right? So every high, you can see it pushes straight to the high, right? You can easily take profit, re-enter, take profit, re-enter. Don't think that every entry that you get is the last time you get a chance to enter. We're looking at 30-second chart, right? You know what I'm saying? So from here to the mid range, sure, it's a lot of money with a decent amount of contracts, but it's not that crazy. By the way, this is how I size into 10 contracts. So you'll see me slowly adding one contract as it fits my picture into this area. So that way I don't have to experience crazy pullbacks and feel like I need to be shaken out of my seat. But it's doing good grinding on this area here. We just don't want to see it make any new lows. Then that'll give them the opportunity to take advantage of us. So as long as we keep sizing in this area, should be cool. We got a new 15-minute candle. So like we said earlier, right? Touches the order block. Technically, it needs to go to the low. Here's the low. It already touched the low twice with two different candles. So now the order block initial push is done. So now that that's done, this candle gets to do whatever it wants. So if it wants to continue trending down, sure. But if it also wants to go up, there's nothing in the way for it to go up past this order block. So this right here, technically is new price, but oftentimes when we see an order block get touched like this, the next candle can go right up and close it out. So really nice sweep. The box I drew along the lows, oh, it's not, it was just for you guys to see where I expected it to land because at the time it was like all the way up here. So I was like, if it needs to make a lower low, it's more than likely going to do it in this area of the box. And the reason I made that box was to show you where it would end up. But all this box is just under these lows here. Because a trend, right? Let me open this. A trend works with higher highs and higher lows, right? This uptrend, for example. So let me just delete all this garbage. This is the mid box here. This is safe take, but I like the bigger picture, so I don't care. I'm gonna remove all this. So trends, right? This is where we were at the time. This is where we were at the time, right? This is what your trend looked like initially. That is too aggressive, right? Why is it aggressive? Based off of the trend line, it's literally going straight up. So if it wants a healthy trend, it needs to make a lower high. So a lower high means that it can technically, as long as it stays above this line, it can make a lower high wherever the hell it wants. But ideally, based off of manipulation, this is usually where they'll aim for it. Because you can see here, they use this entire area a lot. So there's a lot of manipulation here. Therefore, under that would make more sense to stop people out of their position, which would also fix the trend line so it's not too aggressive and it'll be more of a healthy trend. So you'll see it'll look something like this. And then when you finally get it to show itself, then you can fix your trend, right? Because we just estimated that. So now it actually gave us the data. So now we can actually fix our trend and be happy with what we're looking at. Now you can chill, right? Does that make sense? Top, bottom, box, right? And we're in the mid part of the trend here. So technically we should experience manipulation because of the box of the trend. So this entire area, we need to get out of it. See the mid trend, mid box. So as long as we stay out of there, chilling. Take the top of the box, price target 1. That'll also be the high of this lower trend, which will probably experience some volatility based off the VIX, right? So look at the VIX. We talked about this. We wanted it to go below this level to make a lower low. It has done that. So technically, if we can keep NQ running, the VIX should chill and go all the way below its low, which is down here. We got that from the bottom here earlier, right? So we talked about trends. Look at this trend. If we have a trend line that goes like this, too aggressive, right? But if you use the data from down here, use the data from up here, still relatively aggressive. You use all of the data, this and this. Now you can see the parameters, right? So it was uptrending, slowly falling out of that uptrend now, which means that the uptrend isn't healthy anymore and it can leave MQ alone. So technically, this is the only area that we would like to see the VIX touch, right? So if we can get below here, we're vibing. It still could turn around and go back into this trend. That'll be a U-turn and then blast off. If that happens, NQ is finished. So we just need this thing to keep bleeding down, right? Relax a little bit, and then we should be chill. So here's a high before the box, right? So like I told you guys in the Discord earlier, they're gonna love taking advantage of you when it gets close to the most obvious point of use, right? So obviously that's great for traders because it's the previous high. So fall right before it, scare them out of the play, fall down to an order block, grab more positions, trend to the high, actually break it, and then traders will be like, "Fuck, I don't even know why I got out." That's how they manipulate retail. But yeah, really nice trades. Nice entries, nice scaling in, risk management, right? Projections on the smaller time frame and comparison with the VIX. So it's all about your entries, of course. If you get better entries, you get better stop losses. So I don't recommend putting break even stop loss in this particular area because this trend is too close to the entry point. So when we're finally above the upper band of the trend and above the box, then I'm down for putting in my stop loss. But for now, I would just physically watch it until it runs away enough to where I can say, all right, cool, let me break even that stop and let it chill. Because if it comes back, I don't want it if it didn't fix my trend. So like we said earlier, right, this entire area, this is mid box and this is mid trend. So we should experience manipulation all throughout this until we get the actual run that like blasts off and gives us that higher high. So once we get that higher high, I'm down. I'll put the stop loss in, let the trader out. 15 if price is accumulating. Sorry, the 30-second if price is accumulating. Outside of accumulation, you can leave the 30-second alone if it bothers you how fast it moves. But what I will say is, if I may, without offending, um, just because it moves fast is not a reason why you should just get rid of it. That just means you're not capable of understanding it yet. So you need to practice, right? So if the 30-second is too intimidating, then it just sounds like you're not studying enough. You know what I mean? So in that manner, you need to use it in order to get better at it. So don't be scared of it. Just keep it on the side, watch it, see if you can find yourself a trend. If the market doesn't make sense, then it probably don't make sense, which means you shouldn't be trading in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So you need to know how to do that for yourself. So even the 15-minute can be confusing sometimes, let alone, using smaller time frames like the 30-second. We're at the high of the box, by the way. Again, more manipulation experience because traders usually react to highs. But like we said earlier, pushed into the order block, right? Went down, did the guarantee, which is going to the low of the candle. After the guarantee was done, next candle was straight up to the order block again. Technically, it's new price. So you might see it push back a little bit. And then after that, it should go for the highs. So I'll tell y'all right now, here's the high of the trend and we're above the box. There's no reason why I should hear that y'all are red. You know what I'm saying? Everything's been pretty calculated. We got to most of the price targets, not too much manipulation. Everything was relatively contained and explained. Appreciate you guys so much for hanging around and doing the thing. Gives me a reason to come on here and talk about my craft. You know what I'm saying? I'm not crying, but appreciate y'all. I'm gonna get out of here. Peace.